And we're back. And I have my next intern here with me. And I'd love for all of you to meet Miss Krysta Escobar. How you doing it, Krysta?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am going to be a junior at Fordham University in New York. I am studying journalism and minoring in digital technology and emerging media.
Nice.
And here at CEA, I am a content creation intern. And mainly here, I've been working on a lot of Instagram reels and content creation, such as the social media side. I've been working on the CA socials and working on their graphics and stories on Canva. And I've been learning so much in my past couple weeks here.
Yeah. And she's also been assisting me with learning curves and my YouTube channel. So
Yes.
if you go to the YouTube channel and you see all those fun YouTube shorts, a lot of that's Krysta helping Ennis edit and put those together. So pretty awesome. How do you like your internship so far?
It's been so fun, and I've been learning so much just the past couple weeks I've been here. I've learned so much from marketing side to content creation.
Great. Well, you're doing an excellent job, and we have some really fun projects happening at CEA in the studio. So you're get to see the interns work and all this fun stuff. Really fun projects that we're doing this summer. So we're so excited to have you be part of our team.
Thank you, and I can't wait for the upcoming projects. So,
Me too.
um, let's hop into some questions.
Okay.
I know that CEA won the Clearwater Chamber Business of the Year award. Can you tell me, how did you feel in that moment when you won?
I was so excited to win. That was a really good year for CEA. I believe that was back in 2010. And we were pretty involved with the chamber at that time period. And, the agency was pretty large. And it was such a great feeling because being a business of the year in your community where you live, where you work, something that you're really passionate about. It was such a huge accomplishment in my career to get that award. If you look at the amount of businesses that apply for that, there's quite a few. They actually, the chamber, they have a committee and they come and they interview the businesses. You give them a tour. You allow them to meet your employees, and you get to talk about kind of like different things that you do for not only for your clients, but what do you do for the community as well. So we at CEA, I always want to be part of the community, and anything that we can do with philanthropy or helping out or in any of the organizations that we're part of, we always try to give back in any type of way that we can through sponsorship and in-kind work. And I think a lot of that kind of really helped elevate us and help us win that award that year.
I bet winning it was just so exhilarating, and it brought so much to the company.
It really did. It really did. There was another award, though, that was also very exciting. That was the first time that we won at the International Builder Show. The big gold man, I have a couple of them. I have a couple ones that are this big, and then the really big one. That was awesome.
I've seen them displayed all over the office.
Yeah, when you hit the national level, we are in a lot of different competitions at CEA. We enter on the local level, we enter on the regional level. And I always know that, because I've judged a lot of these competitions as well, so I know what it takes to win. And on the national level, it's just there's so many companies, and you really got to have something solid before you even want to consider entering, because it's number one, it's expensive. But that particular event too, it's in Vegas every year, or in Orlando, and you get called up on stage. You get to make a big speech. and then they hand you that big award. But it's just such a big accomplishment knowing that one of your ideas and concepts that you were super proud of actually won the very best in the nation. Super cool.
Makes you feel amazing, I bet.
Yeah. I think it's a great way to award the team too for their great work, because we don't get a whole lot of accolades, from our clients. So it's like, we just work hard and it's okay. Here's the next project. Here's the next project. Here's the next project. So by us being able to enter in these competitions, it really shows us that, gives us something to be proud of.
It connects the team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So trends.
Yes.
I know you love trends so much.
I do. You've been editing on my podcast,
yes.
Trends.
trends. Can you tell me what are some possible podcast trends for 2023 and even potentially 2024?
Okay, potential podcast trends. I think what we're going to see more of is more video type podcasts is going to become really popular. The audio version is great. It's been around for a really long time. And I love how podcasting is just getting so popular. But I see the fact that a lot of people are realizing the power of video. And even though some people might not actually be watching the video, they might still tune into YouTube's and listen to it. But I think we're going to see a big trend that YouTube's going to become a major channel for podcasting. So I think that we should watch for that. You have the big companies like obviously Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I think, are the two number ones out there. But YouTube is going to come around and they're going to be a big player in that category, because I think a lot of people are seeing that benefit. Some different trends is just I think getting super creative, making sure having solid guests. I think having that entertainment value is really important. I feel that podcasting, when you're talking about trends, will soon take the place of radio. I think that someday we're not going to see radio as it is today. It's basically all going to be all these just really popular podcasts.
I agree. I've had many professors who work at NPR, and they're all saying public media is dying.
Yeah, I think people choose to want to watch content that's geared towards them. And podcasting gives you that ability to find your channel that works well for you. Because if you notice when you listen to the radio stations and it's some of it has similar music that you like and everything, but it might not be everything that you like. But when you find a great channel for music or whatever that may be, you're going to listen to it all the time because it just fits what you're really interested in and is geared towards. But yeah, I think that, music, video, podcasts, all those kind of things will be in hand, and it will take over radio. I just think too, and it's so nice because podcasts is a place for really anybody can start one. That's like the cool thing. And it's really trending. I like that trend because everybody has a voice. Everybody has something that they can talk about, something that they can teach somebody. So I just feel like it's just going to be this open platform for us for your voice to really be heard. Because I just know a lot with current media today, even television, they don't necessarily tell the truth, or they don't give you the full truth. And where podcasting comes in is people can go on and speak their truth, which is something that's really amazing. And that's another thing that I think why it's going to get even more popular, because of that freedom of speech and being able to really say the things that you want to say or listen to the people that you want to listen uncensored.
Podcasts are almost like a form of communication now. Now, this may be a bit of a controversial question.
That's okay.
But do you think there are too many podcasts in this world?
I really don't. Honestly, I don't think there's too many podcasts because it really, there are different goals of why you podcast, okay? Some people might podcast because they have a message that they want to get out to the world. Or somebody might be a coach where they want to help people with advice. There's sports podcasts. There's all kinds of different podcasts. There's a podcast like for learning curves, for example. I wanted to do something that, yes, to bring people in, to get them to see the studio and all that for potential business. But at the same time, like people can actually use a podcast just to get business. So even if you're only one listener from that podcast is the client that you bought in and you got a piece of business, and that's great. I mean, I think anybody's listenership, even if you have sometimes smaller audiences or more loyal audiences, but that one person that you can help, that you can change their mind or give them a piece of advice that could change their life or help them transform their business is a game changer. So I think there's enough room out there for as many podcasts as possible, because I think the world's a better place with having a platform for people to truly have a voice. What's your opinion on that?
I actually possibly want to start up a podcast. Over at my university, they have a whole podcast room at the library, and I was talking with my friend, and we're like, let's possibly start up a podcast next semester. We're both really into baseball, so we're like, why not? Let's start up a baseball podcast. You know, we may not have that many listeners or any listeners at all, but it's something that we would love to do and we can do in our free time.
I think you'll know. I think you'll find out. Obviously, you're working with a marketing company that markets podcasts. That there will be people like women who love baseball. There are people that would probably love to watch. I think that's such a great idea. And the important thing about a podcast is just to make sure it's about a certain subject line, that you're not kind of all over the place with it. And that's where it's important. Like, what is it that you're trying to say? What's your why behind your podcast? What's your message behind it? And make sure that that's clearly defined and that your audience knows that as well. And that's how you're going to get people with like interests that will want to subscribe to your podcast.
Right, because I mean, I agree there are a bunch of podcasts out there, but you have to have a niche. And if you have a niche, you can draw in an audience and people will listen.
They absolutely will. And it's just if you have friends too, like I know with my Learning Curves podcast, just by me putting that on, I put it on my own personal Facebook page. I put it, obviously I'm trying to, but I find that like a lot of my friends listen to it, and people that I wouldn't even think that would listen to it, they pull me aside and said, I listened to your podcast the other day. I'm like, well, you listened to it? That's awesome. So I find a lot of people listening to it that I wouldn't even think would have, and that they are. So people, pay attention to it. And they tell me how much they like it and how they enjoy it, and tell me, some cool things that they learned from it. And I'll get texts, and it's that's such a good feeling when you have like, man, that was really awesome. Thank you for doing that. And it's just that you're giving people a place that they can go to for 20 minutes to a half hour where they're just in their zone doing the thing and listening to something that they love and that they care about. And I just think that's awesome.
Right. Like I listen to podcasts sometimes in the car, especially when I'm walking or doing something, working out. And it's just fun and it's nice to escape, especially if I don't feel like listening to music. Sometimes it's nice to just listen to them.
It is. I love it because when I'm working out listening to a podcast, I might work out an extra 15 minutes longer just so I can finish that podcast, So I along with it, I burned another 100 calories and I got through my whole because otherwise I'm like, okay, I'm 30 minutes, I'm done. But now I'm like, okay, I'm a 45-minute podcast. I'm going to go the 45 minutes because it's an awesome podcast. Or keep driving around the block so you can finish your episode, because that's how much I love them so much. Like I learn learn more on podcasts than I think I do any place else, because I'm a learner through listening and watching. And I just think they're awesome, and you can just get so much out of them, and you can also give so much by doing one.
Right. You just have to find the ones that you like. You have to find your niche, and you will just love, and you will listen to them. And that's what's happened with me. I found so many that I love. So.
That's great. And you guys are going to have a chance to practice, because you're going to have your own intern podcast here at Second Soul Studios. So we're going to be excited to watch that and see that grow.
I'm so excited for that. It's something I've been looking forward to the past couple weeks, honestly.
Oh, that's exciting. Yay. We can live stream you in from New York City.
Well, I'm setting up my apartment and moving in.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. We're going to come down and visit you there too.
Please do. Please do. I may be a little lonely this summer, but it's all good.
Yeah, we'll definitely come down for a visit. Well, thank you so much. Those were great questions, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, Kelly.
Oh, you're welcome.
This was great. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're back with our fourth intern. I wanted to introduce you all to Mr. Ethan.
Hello, Kelly. It's a pleasure being on the podcast.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. Ethan, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I am a finance major at USF. I'm a senior, and I recently got a double major in management to extend it a little bit, stay in school a little bit longer. And I know you might be wondering, why a finance major? Are you at a marketing company as an intern? And I think that's kind of like the beauty of CA marketing. It isn't just one stationary thing. It is everything. You really get the complete picture of the entire business model, and it's fascinating. I mean, for my part of the internship, I'm more on the back end where I do the books. I do more like QuickBooks, Harvest, and I really try to like get everything automated from the back so it's seamless for everyone else. And I've just learned so much in that field, and on top of how large like the marketing field is, it's truly like just magnificent how much is like I've taken in such a short period of time. It's only been like a couple weeks, it feels like. And so yeah, for that I wanted to thank you, because it's like it really is pretty just amazing.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. It's a lot goes into a small business, doesn't it?
Seriously, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ethan sees it all. He is also my personal assistant. He sits in the office with me, and I know that those of you that know me are going, poor Ethan has to work with Kelly. He actually handles it perfectly.
No,
He's perfect for my
amazing.
crazy, absent-minded, don't know anything about QuickBooks personality. That's always like, help me figure this out, please.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun working with you.
I 100% agree. Not agree, boy.
Yeah, we have a big stack and a big old mess we're cleaning up right now, but
Almost done. We're getting progress.
yeah, we are
Almost
making
there.
progress.
Yeah.
He's having to come in and like do some major cleanup, because I financing is not my jam at all, and I've been without an assistant for the past year, and I prayed for you, and here you are.
I'm glad
So
glad I could
that was
deliver.
the one thing.
Yeah.
Please bring me somebody to help. So, yay! Thank you for being here.
No, yeah, of course. Thank you for having me, honestly.
You're welcome. So, what
Okay.
kind of questions do you have
Yes,
for
I
me
have some
today?
questions for you. And in particular, I've seen a lot of, the behind the scenes, and I think people don't truly understand how difficult it is as an entrepreneur. And I'm not sure if a female entrepreneur is any different than just an entrepreneur, but I am curious, what is the biggest mistake you've made as an entrepreneur or a female entrepreneur, and what have you learned from it? And what could you advise someone that's going into a similar position to avoid?
I think one of my biggest mistakes is, and I think it's something that you're witnessing right now, honestly. I'm at 25 years, I still make mistakes. And I think one of the things, I mean, I'm human just like everybody else. We don't like to, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to learn it because if there's something that we don't like, we don't really pay a lot of attention to it. And I feel that as a business owner, you do need to be able to wrap your head around the finances, and you need to pay attention to what's going on. And I think that for me is one of my biggest challenges and always has been, is kind of keeping your eye on like what's happening in your company, because it's easy for us as business owners we get pulled away. Like you see me all day long, on the phone, over here, over there.
Everything, yeah.
So it's difficult, and at the same time, when you had to sit down and focus on something that you really don't like doing, and that you're really bad at it, it's hard. But I think that for me, like a mistake is, I wish that I probably maybe should have taken more QuickBooks classes, learning a little bit more about accounting. So as I've had people in my company from being an owner for 25 years, people come and go. And what I've found is, there's always some type of a mess that you're cleaning up afterwards. Sometimes it's great when they go, and other times it's not so great. And I think if my biggest thing is like just being able to somewhat wrap your head around those things that you don't like doing, because it can make a big difference. Obviously, hire people to help you with that,
of course.
but you still can't
Rely on them.
rely on that and let it go. You need to be able to completely understand it. And I do, with my company, I think what's helped me to go through and understand where your profits are, how your business works, and things like that helps you make good decisions for your company. And the good news is, like, once you've been doing it as long as I have, like, even though some things appear messy, my head knows a lot.
Yeah.
But if you haven't been in business for a long time and you don't know the things that I know, it could be very, very difficult, and therefore you can make a lot of mistakes. So I think that is something that, because you can end up finding that you've wasted or spent a lot of money on things that you didn't even really need to, and it's important to have that money in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that is like a pretty big learning curve and situation. I have several of them. I mean, you talk about mistakes. Like, I've made a lot of mistakes, and you try to learn from them, but there's always new things that come up, and challenges that come up and I think for some reason the universe gives us those challenges for a reason. I don't know why, but I think it makes us a stronger person. I was talking to Krysta about, some of our recent challenges that we've had at the agency. I'm like, I've never seen that before. Like, I don't even know where that one came from, but they come.
And I imagine it's also hard too, because marketing is always evolving. Like, I've literally been here for 4 weeks, and I've already seen such an evolution of, like, AI, for example. So I imagine it's also additionally difficult to keep up with even those new, evolutions and how everything works.
Yeah. Initially, when AI came out, I was actually like, holy crap. I was kind of scared of it. But you can be, and that's the big thing is don't be scared. Like, learn to embrace, because there's always an opportunity there. Because I think a lot of people could be like, looking at what is, yeah, there are some. I'm sure there's going to be some bad sides to it, but also there's also a lot of opportunity as well, to embrace, and that is something that is my biggest piece of advice is embrace that technology and learn as much as you can about it. And I think that's what I'm doing for our team
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
Is
Most definitely giving us the videos
yeah.
and like
Now
the
that you
courses.
guys have been talking to me about AI for
Yeah.
a while, and then one night I'm like, okay, I'm going to log in and do this. And as Christy says, I think we created a monster. Because now I'm like, holy crap, this thing is awesome.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Okay. Wow, that's a really like well thought out answer. Thank you. That was really nice.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more coming our way with AI. We're gonna learn every single tool and have it down and figure out how that's gonna benefit the agency and how it will benefit our clients, how we can better serve others with that technology.
So then I want to ask you, like, I want to build off of that. How do you balance trying to be innovative in your company and try to find these new trends, which you are so like good at? It's crazy how talented you are at finding trends and like, using them to the full advantage. But how do you balance that and the company at the same time? Is there like a line that you have to, give clients more time than trying to find solutions that would help you? Like, what is your technique to really find the sweet point or the sweet spot balance between the two sides of it?
Well, the good news with me is I'm a shiny object girl. So I'm always going to go towards that shiny object. I love new things. I tend to get bored easily. So that's, I think, what keeps me going is when I can find something new, I'm going to grab onto it. And sometimes my problem is finding too many of them. And I think that's more of my issue is I can be I go over the top with trends sometimes and like try to push too much on my company at the same time, when really you bring one and learn that one and then grab another one. But that's my thing that I love to do. So I love, I listen to podcasts a lot and I research a lot online. I love to go to industry trade shows and just whatever. And if I hear of something new, I'm going to look it up right away because I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
And then if I like it, I'm going to go for it. I think that's one thing that really excites me. And the other side of it is like with the client work as well. It's fun to introduce them to new trends and to bring that into the marketing mix. Because it really shows that we are very creative and we're not going to recommend everything, only those things that we think that might work for the client. The client side is great, just being in meetings and being able to be part of that, helping run strategy. Those are the fun things for me. Like I said, the not so fun things, as I mentioned before, with the balancing is really like the financing side and all that other stuff.
I see.
So how do you balance it? That's hard advice, because I find that for me to do what I have to, a lot of times it's on the weekends that I'm doing that stuff that I don't like to do, because that's when I can have the quiet time to focus on it.
Yeah.
Because I can focus on fun trends and working with the clients and have chaos going on around me, and that's all great. But focusing on the things that I don't like doing as much, I need to have my door shut at home with nobody around me so I can get that stuff done. So you just have to figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and figure out a way of how you can get those things done.
Yeah. And if that's finding time on the weekend, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not an easy
doesn't
thing.
sound easy.
Especially when it's just you.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of things rely on you. The other side of it too, though, and I know we have a small team though, is just make sure that you have the right people and you have the right support group with you, and realizing that you don't have to do it all yourself. That rely on your people and trust them to help you when you need it.
And I think that's even more prevalent in a small group, because that's all you have. You don't have anyone else.
Yeah, don't be a control freak.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have one more question for you. This one's a little off topic from what we've been talking about.
That's okay.
But if you were in my position right now, right? What is one thing that you wish you would have known at the start of all of it? Going into like the marketing field, how broad and expansive it really is, always changing, always evolving. What is one thing you wish that somebody told you right when you started?
Wow. That's a great question, because there's so many things out there that can help people right now. I think I wish that when I was like you, just starting out, and even just starting my agency, not even knowing how to run an agency when I started one, or just is always be okay, asking for help, being able to put that ego aside, is really important. I think that finding a mentor as soon as you possibly can to help you is great. When I first started my company, I didn't have a mentor. So I figured a lot of things out on my own. And you'll make a lot of mistakes when you do that too. But I realized when I found a mentor, somebody I did end up pulling in that helped me go from creative events advertising to CEA marketing group, that helped me tremendously. I think I learned more from him than I ever learned from anybody. And I owe a lot to that guy because I had no plans of owning an ad agency. I just kind of felt my direct marketing company all of a sudden turned into one. But just by starting out, if you're gonna own a business, I wish somebody told me, get a couple consultants and try to get some people to help you get organized with it, because it's crazy. I never thought I would be a business owner,
Yeah.
But crazy people kind of tend to be business owners. If you're crazy, you'll be a good business owner, because we're kind of all over the place and always have, big ideas and things like that. But at the same time, I think that starting out, you need a lot of arms around you.
It takes a village.
So even for you, having somebody that can help guide you. I think a lot of kids, they get egos. I can do this myself, and they don't ask for help enough. So if they can get guides and mentors that they can have all through their lives, especially when they're starting out, I think that's just going to elevate you so much higher than for you to try to, how am I going to do it on my own? Because a lot of times, we have our parents, but we never listen to our parents, right? Like,
exactly.
The parents don't get smart until when you're 25. Your mom and dad, actually in your 30s, you're gonna they're gonna be the smartest people you know.
Yeah.
But still, when you're in college or even coming out into the real world, I got it. You don't want to hear it, but you do need to hear from other people. If you don't want to listen to your parents, though, you should listen to your parents. But besides your parents, there are other great mentors out there, and have one right away. You should get one now, and have like somebody that's going on that track where you want to go, that can help guide you. By finding that person now will be life changing for you.
Do you have any recommendations on what a good mentor looks like? Like, if I wanted to get a mentor right now, how would you recommend me finding one, and what qualities should they possess?
Well, you kind of need to figure that out. Like, what qualities do you need to help you? I would first look at, what do you want to do? You're in business and finance. I think you mentioned like you want to work for a bank. So I would look in the banking industry, and maybe is it I would find maybe it's and mentorship. You want to find someone that actually is going to have the time to spend with you. So don't look for somebody that's too busy, okay? Because they're not going to have the time. So maybe it could be even someone that recently retired from banking, somebody that's in their 60s, because they're gonna love helping you, and they're gonna have the time to take your phone calls and to really spend the time giving you that. You can just by going on to LinkedIn, or maybe even looking at some financial institutions in the area and asking around and saying, I'm really looking, and they should have mentor programs in your college that might help you with that.
Yeah.
People actually sign up to be mentors. Or you can even, reach out to somebody, like maybe they were a past president of a credit union or a bank, and hey, this is a track that I want to go on, and I would love to have somebody help me and guide me through my career.
Yeah.
Would you be that person? If someone reached out to me to do that, that would be like so flattering. I'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, of course I'll help you.
Yeah. All right, awesome.
So, and also you want to make sure that that is going to work well for you. You don't want somebody too smart, too soft. You want somebody that's going to tell you straight
Tough
how
love.
it is, and
Yeah.
that they're going to be a little tough on you, and set goals, and somebody that you can be accountable towards.
That makes a lot of sense too. Yeah, because what's the point if they're not gonna help you? Help you grow. Yeah. This is all like really great information. Thank you so much once again for having me on that podcast first off, and as an internship. I truly thank you for everything you've done, everything you've taught me.
Oh,
And
you're welcome.
yeah, any closing remarks you have?
No, I just have to say that having you and Taylor, Samantha, Krysta in my agency right now, it's a breath of fresh air. It has been so much fun. When you work for as long as I have, 55 years old, and the ups and downs of owning a company, and it's been we've had some tough years recently, and you sometimes you can be happy, and sometimes you get a little sour, and you get happy and you get sour. But having you guys here has brought so much happiness and joy back into my world, and a lot of the other the rest of our team here. Everybody's happy when they come. Not to say we're not happy all the time, but
No, yeah.
I can say I just see so much more energy and light because you all are here. And we are excited just to have such a fun summer with you all. So I really appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
I think we can I can't think of the word. I think when I speak for everyone here, it's the exact same. It's so much fun getting so much experience from an entire team and having fun every day, learning so much. And it's a new experience, but you guys are making it a lot easier than I think would be anywhere else. So
Great.
thank you right back to you guys as well.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're having fun.
No,
Woohoo. Go see
most definitely.
Go Second
Yeah.
Soul. And I said we have a lot of plans, so
Yes, we
stay
do.
tuned so you can watch what these interns are doing. They are going to have their own edition
Podcast,
of
right?
Learning Curves, their own
gonna be fun.
podcast that they're starting. So
Stay
we're
tuned.
going to be excited to see what they come up with that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, Ethan, for
Thank you
joining.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
And thank you so much. I would love to hear from you to see do you like this content. I think it's awesome to have our younger team members come in here and just, having the new freshness of that, the curiosity is wonderful. So we'd love to hear from your audience. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can have more of this awesome content coming your way. Thanks a lot for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye now.
At CEA Marketing, we take your business, your passion, and your why, and we sell it. If you're unsure where to start marketing your company, CEA Marketing is here to help. Our team at CEA has tons of experience and top-notch training, which helps you take all the stress and confusion out of marketing your own business. After years of working with large companies like Pulte Homes and Metro Places, we guarantee the successful implementation of a marketing strategy.